Hey guys, this is a quick review of the Gigabyte 5090 Waterforce AIO version. I've got the 9800 X3D in here, 32 gigs of RAM, running at 30 CLs. And I have a push-pull configuration running in this. So I have the original fans in behind, and then I have some Corsair, so it's push-pulling out. And then I have a bottom fan bringing some air in, and the back fan bringing some air in. I just thought I'd give you an up-close look of the graphic card, how it looks in here. It's a very nice looking card, and I personally like the look of it. It's not for everyone, but I really like the look of it. I used to have the Gigabyte 5090 Gaming OC, and the fans were ramping up way too much. This card allows you to run all the fans in your case around. When you do the push-pull, I don't know if that makes that much of a difference, but all my fans are running at 1100 rounds per minute, so it's whisper quiet. And yeah, I was just gonna show you the temps on this when you're maxing it out, and we'll go from there. I'm just gonna put the screen back on the side panel. The good thing about this is you don't have to worry about the card. You don't have to worry about tweaking it or undervolting or being worried about temperatures. With the air cooled ones, it's very tricky sometimes because the speed of the fans just ramp up way too much, and it's really annoying. And but yeah, we'll test this out here. We're gonna run 4K. This is the Xtreme version of what this would be running at. It's gonna pull all 600 watts, and we'll let it run for a little bit here to get an idea of what kind of temps you could expect from this graphic card. Alright, so we're gonna run it there. Yeah, so this is running it at stock configuration. And we'll just let it sit here for a bit, get saturated. So this is like gonna be a worst case scenario. No game's gonna do this to your graphic card. But I'll bring this nice and close to the computer so you can hear for yourself the coil whine. Yeah, having an air-cooled 5090 and then going to this is just night and day. It's like you can breathe fresh air again, because you don't have to worry about tweaking stuff to make sure your fans don't ramp up or compromising on your card. It's just a refreshing feeling. Alright, I'll bring this back over here. Alright, so we're getting a little more saturated here. Getting up to 61. My Gigabyte 5090 Gaming OC in this, pulling all the watts, would get up to 78 degrees, so. And the fans would just be blaring right now. This way you don't have to hear the fans. They're all at 1100. Even when the graphic card's getting stressed this much, the graphic card fans for the AIO are only getting up to 1100. So everything's consistent in there. Yeah, it's like might get up to 65 here. That's still like a 65. That's like a 13 degree difference. Which is a huge difference when talking about the lifespan. Yeah, so it usually sits around 65 degrees, pulling all the watts. It's currently 24 degrees in my room right now. Degrees Celsius. We hit 66. But yeah, this is a worst case scenario. I'll run a benchmark in Cyberpunk here. Alright, let's do Cyberpunk. Yeah, so 66 degrees. Alright, we're gonna set this back to default. So we're gonna do max. We're not gonna run DLSS. We're gonna run ray tracing. Oh, path tracing. Everything's just gonna be maxed out. So pretty much just running it on the custom ray traced overdrive and turning off DLSS. That's the only thing we're doing. And we're running at 4K. There, and yeah, we'll give this a run and I'll show you the coil whine while you're gaming. And this is kind of a worst case scenario because you're running ray tracing and path tracing, so it's going to stress the GPU more than most games. So we'll go ahead and apply that and we'll run the benchmark here. So yeah, this is gonna pull 600 watts. and we're gonna get a whopping 33 FPS. It's funny, you get a 5090 and you gotta tweak so many things just to get over 100 frames and still do ray tracing, but this game is notorious for that. Yeah, so we got up to like 62 degrees and we were pulling 600 watts, 608, 605, all over the place, sort of. And we got 34.99. So pretty much 35. While we're here, we might as well do my undervolt. We'll run it undervolted as well. So my undervolt, I have the memory to 2000, power limit all the way up, and I also have it undervolted here at 2800 and just before 900. If you want to see this undervolt, you can watch my last video where I did it on the Gigabyte Gaming OC, and you can compare them if you watch both videos for temperatures and stuff like that. Yeah, so the undervolt is on, and we'll just run the exact same benchmark. It's a night and day difference getting the liquid cooled version. So quiet. I'll give you a example of the coil whine when you're running it undervolted. I like to run it undervolted just because it might make my graphic card last longer and you're not losing much performance, to be honest. And less heat. Doesn't really affect my fans because everything's just running at 1100 RPMs. So it's quiet. Alright, I'll bring it back so I can show you what's going on over here. So it went down to 500 watts. It doesn't go down as far when you're doing ray tracing and stuff like that. So we actually gained performance undervolting it. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look at MSI to see what's going on there. But we did gain some performance, which is nice. Undervolting. And that's why you run an undervolt. Alrighty, so for the temperature, we were getting a max temp of, when we undervolted, around like 58. Over here, we're getting like 62 max. So it went down 4 degrees on the undervolt. And you'll see bigger drops on different games, depending. And then we've got wattage, of course. So for wattage, we were max around like 530, and then of course we were running it at its maximum. It was actually getting up to 608 there. It just shows that undervolting is the way with these cards. And it's not for all games. You might find different things on different games. And then for the fans, so for the when we ran it at stock. Yeah, so when we ran it at stock, we were getting up to around close to 900 RPMs, and then when we were running it undervolted, it was around, or actually it's this pump. So when we had it pulling the full 600 watts, we were getting up around the 1100 mark, and then when we were running it at the undervolt, it was more in the 850 to 900. And then the CPU is doing its thing, sitting around 58. It's just nice being able to run a quiet PC. But yeah, that's my review. Just a quick look into this, really, to be honest. I've been really enjoying it, and compared to an air-cooled graphic card, I'd strongly recommend this. Alright, have a good day.